Dear Mursal, we are live. The floor is yours. Mursal, can you hear me? Mursal, can you hear me?
Sorry, ma'am, my mic was off.
Please, Major, start the session. We are live.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's session. I'm Marcella Arena, fellow with the Skills Development Department at Women Ascension. For those of you joining us today for the first time, let me briefly introduce Women Ascension. Women Ascension is a global movement that empowers women to learn, lead, and create positive change. With appearance in over 134 countries and multiple departments from STEAM to peace building, it provides a platform for women to grow, lead, and support each other. Towards its 1 million leadership program 2030, it aims to support 1 million women and youth to become strong, inspiring leaders. The Skills Development Department focuses on helping women and youth improve their digital literacy, entrepreneurship, and foundational skills so they can succeed in technology, business, and leadership roles. Towards hands-on training, mentorship, and practical guidance, the department events participants gain the confidence and tools needed to thrive in professional and community settings. Today's session is a part of Women Ascension Fellowship, where we will explore digital literacy and foundational skills, empowering women and youth to strengthen their abilities in technology, data, and entrepreneurship. It's my honor to introduce Dr. Mahim Amjad, founder and president of Women Ascension. With a global active NOG spanning 130 countries, Dr. Mahim Amjad is an award-winning entrepreneur, educator, and humanitarian leader, recognized as the first woman in her race to earn a PhD in entrepreneurship. Her work bridges innovation, policy, and social impact, empowering women and communities toward sustainable development. Women Ascension is a committed to empowering. Women Ascension is committed to empowering women and youth with a deep focus on human rights and social equality. Our first speaker will explore how data can empower women in their careers and business. Ijuma Arakai, founder and lead coach at the Digital Literacy Academy, has over 7 years of experience helping people and organizations use data to make better decisions. She teaches practical skills in SQL powered by uh, Excel powered by SQL and Tableau, and supports women moving into tech roles. I'm happy to give the floor to dear Igioma. Dear Igioma Arakai, the floor is yours. Dear Idioma, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Please let me know if you can hear me and see my screen as well. Please let me know if you can
Yes,
hear me and
Christina.
see.
We
All
can hear
right.
you, ma.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So, hello, everybody. And I'm so excited to be here today. And I'm going to be talking about real world stories of women leveraging digital tools for education, career advancement, and business growth. And I'm going to be sharing my story. All right. So, who I am? Who am I?
Miss IG?
I am, yes, please.
Miss IG, Miss IG, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Can you please share your slides? We cannot see it. We can hear you, but we
Okay.
cannot see slide.
Okay, a minute, please. Sorry.
No worries.
Okay, can you see my slide now?
It's loading. Yeah, perfect. You can go on.
Okay, awesome, amazing. Thank you so much. All right. So, who I am? I am first a daughter, a sister, a friend, a mother, a wife, a homemaker, and a community builder. And beyond these roles, I'm also a tech trainer, a data analytics coach, personal growth and development coach, an advocate for women's empowerment, helping individuals and businesses leverage data and digital literacy for transformation. All right. So, my mission is to empower others, especially women and youth, to thrive through digital literacy and personal growth. And my vision is to help build a community of digitally competent individuals, especially women. All right. So, today, the opening thought is when a woman learns to use a digital tool, she doesn't just upskill, she uplifts communities. All right. So today, we're going to look at the power of data literacy and digital skills. Does it really matter, especially for women? Do we need it? Yes. Now, over 90% of today's jobs require digital competence. In our world today, whether you are a teacher, a shop owner, like a business owner, a healthcare worker, you need some level of digital skills. From sending emails, advertising your goods, your products, your services online money transfers, to using and automating tasks. Everything runs on digital tools now. We all remember that during COVID-19, millions of businesses that couldn't operate online had to shut down temporarily and some permanently. And I was affected personally. All right. So while those who were digitally equipped survived and even thrived, the entrepreneurs who adopted online sales or social media marketing at that time saw remarkable growth. Now, the digital competence is no longer for, techie people only. It's for everyone who wants to stay relevant in modern economy. All right. So women with digital literacy earn more in comparable roles. Yes, that is very right. They earn even up to 20 to 30% more in comparable roles. Like when women develop digital skills, their earning potential rises, whether in their personal businesses or in their workplace. For example, a woman who can use like a Microsoft Excel or even manage digital marketing campaign can command higher pay compared to someone doing the same role manually. I've personally seen this in my students. Women who learn data analytics with me have transitioned from administrative roles to analytics roles, doubling their income. Yes, digital skills create economic empowerment and help close that gender pay gap. All right. So digital tools breaks careers, connecting women across continents. That's right. Look at us, look at me, look at you. We are all connected on this call via digital tools. We have connected, we are not seeing physically, but we are connected, we are having these conversations. Why? Because of digital tools. This, I must say, is one of the most beautiful things about the digital era. We can now collaborate, learn, build businesses with people we have never met physically. Just look at this platform, this Women Ascension, bringing together women from different parts of the world. I can see Afghanistan, I can see Zimbabwe, South Africa, Nigeria, Cameroon. In fact, I've seen many countries mentioned here, all connected by a shared goal of growth and empowerment. And if I must say, digital connection is equal to global opportunity. Yes, because this platform can, help us to access some opportunities that we didn't even knew that existed. Like, I mean, where can I meet all these women? I couldn't have met them physically, right? Okay, so now I'm going to share my journey into data and digital empowerment. So this is my own journey. I moved from curiosity to confidence. All right. So how did I start? Well, after I graduated from the university, and I was job hunting, and I really wanted to work in a bank, and I was job hunting, and it wasn't forthcoming immediately. That was in 2007. All right. So what did I do? I had an idea. I could sell something. Then I thought of selling fruit salad. All right. So I cut up these fruits and, package them very well because I love to eat it, right? I love to eat healthy. And I thought, then I had moved to a bigger city. My elder sister stayed in a bigger city. I had moved to this bigger city, and, people are so very busy. All right. So I thought it would be a good idea. I would package this and go sell it to working class people. And this I did. And, I started selling and the money was coming in. And while I was still job hunting. All right. So I eventually got a job, and I did that job for 1 year. Then marriage happened, and my husband moved to a different location, and I had to pick the job. I had to resign to move with him to the other city. And when I got there, I had to move back to being an entrepreneur. And, then I had my younger brother in China, and he could send me handbags, ladies' bags, to sell. And I started selling it. And I must tell you, it was so tough for me because I didn't have a shop. So I was moving around, and there was nothing like, digitalization then, all right, like in 2007. So I was going around, and it was difficult selling because it felt like I was actually they were doing me a favor, and some persons we owe, and all of that. And in fact, I ended up having lots of handbags that I didn't even need. All right. So along the line, motherhood happened, and women, we keep evolving things, lots of changes happen to us, and all of that. So motherhood happened, and I realized that, oh, all the nice kiddies products, baby things I would have loved to buy for my baby. I didn't have them in my location. And, I that bettered the idea, and that bettered me having a baby shop. All right. So I started selling kiddies thin clothes. I had a baby shop, and I could travel to the bigger city, buy things. I had a shop, and I was selling. Business was moving. 10 years and 4 babies. And the business grew to the point that I started to travel to other countries. I traveled to Dubai. From Dubai, I traveled to China, then pandemic happened and everything came to a halt and shops were closed. All right. So everybody was stuck at home, and while stuck at home, out of curiosity and the new awareness that a lot was happening online, I was drawn to tech. I was drawn to tech. And, it was tough because I had forgotten how to even use a computer. I was drawn to tech with my phone, right? And then prior to the pandemic, I used to help my children in the academics. I loved teaching a lot. I was my children's home lesson teacher, and they were doing extremely well in school. Now, during the pandemic, lots of classes were now happening online for my children. And guess what happened? My children were thriving and they were used to the computer, and I wasn't. And then that was then when I decided to learn so that I can bridge the gap. You can imagine I was their teacher, but now I couldn't, I couldn't meet up with them when it came to digital literacy. They had been taught in school and I wasn't there yet, right? So it was quite challenging, but I was determined to become computer literate again. So I refused to be left behind because my kids were way ahead of me in that aspect. And, before you knew it, I decided, I encouraged myself to go learn the computer basics. And I did. And from there, one thing led to the other. I fell in love with data analytics. And, it felt tough at the beginning. But I told myself, look, IJ, you can do this. I decided to pursue it. I looked for free online courses before I could start the pay training. But guess what? Just in one year, I was amazed at my progress. I also joined some women tech communities, and at some point I felt confident enough to write a Microsoft certification exam and I aced it to the glory of God. So that was it, from curiosity to confidence. So your digital journey begins the moment you decide to learn one new skill, just one new skill you never can know. And you know what happened to me? From there, I had enough confidence to go look for a job, a tech job. And did I get one? Yes, I did get one. I got one. But after 1 year, I knew I knew what I really wanted, that I wanted remote opportunities where I can work from home and like have time for family. I wasn't having work time balance at all. I resigned. 2024, I started my academy, Data Literacy Academy. And who could have thought from 2021, who could have thought? In fact, if somebody had told me prior to then, maybe 2018, when I was doing my manual business and everything, I would have told them that they were joking, that things like that. I'm not sure it existed. But here I am. Here I am. All right. So what am I saying? What are the lessons from my story? Digital tools open global opportunities. Now I have students from different parts of the world. I work from the comfort of my home. Digital tools are open global opportunities. Women quickly learn, unlearn, and relearn. So we shouldn't stop ourselves, okay? Because I opened up to whenever the change came, I embraced it. Instead of feeling frustrated, I embraced it and I asked myself, IJ, what can you do? What can you do at this point? All right? Now, community, collaboration and mentorship accelerate success. Belonging to communities like this will help you. Now, confidence. Digital literacy builds voice and visibility. Imagine I'm an introvert, a very serious one at that. But look at me here today. I'm here. I'm teaching other women. I'm teaching people online. I'm here. I'm talking. I'm sharing my testimony. Why? Because of digital literacy. It has helped me to build a voice and is making me visible. All right. Okay. So, yes, what is a call to action? So I'm going to talk to every woman here on this platform, every woman here listening. Look, You can do it. If I could do it, then you can do it. Just start from somewhere. Start small. Start with one small skill. If you're here and you could join this call via Zoom, you are already on it. Trust me, you are already on it. Start small, one skill at a time. What are you interested in? Start with free tools and online platforms to learn and grow. I started with free tools. I remember I was looking, I will go search the internet for free data analytics courses. I saw one on Coursera. I applied for scholarship and I got it. And, it really skyrocketed everything for me. Then that's where I started. Before I started paying for courses. Then tell your story. Your digital journey can inspire the next woman. Tell your story. All right. Then finally, collaborate. Don't compete. Together as women, we rise. All right. So this is where I'm going to stop. Thank you so much, and I hope you got value from this very short presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, dear, for sharing your story. Next, we move to a speaker who will guide us on using technology and AI in education. Eva Chigoro from Zimbabwe is an ICT academic ICT for Impact and founder of Launchpad Transition Program. She has over 8 years of experience helping young people gain digital skills and confidence in using technology. She brings valuable insights on using AI and digital tools in education to empower women and youth. The stage is yours, dear Ivy. Eva. Eva. Dear Ivy, the stage is yours.
Dear Marcella, I think Miss Eva is not here. You can move to Miss Clara.
Okay. Next we have a speaker who will show us how to start a small business and grow it successfully. Clara Kadmata, an e-commerce entrepreneur who will share how to start small and grow a successful online business. She will give us practical tips on taking the first step and using valuable resources to achieve growth. Her experience shows how anyone can start small and achieve real success. I am happy to hand over the floor to dear Clara.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to this platform where we are talking today about real-world stories of women who are using digital tools to build a business from scratch. Thank you so much, Women Ascension, for giving me this opportunity. Today, I'm going to be talking about starting small, selling big, how to launch your first marketplace store without much capital. My name is Clara Chimeza, as you heard. I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a child of God, a journalist, who turned e-commerce entrepreneur. I'm also a copywriter for e-commerce brands. I focus mainly on emails and product descriptions. I'm also a Microsoft and ICT ILO certified digital skills lead trainer. So, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, Miss Clara, we can see it.
So today, since we are talking about real-world stories of women who are taking advantage of digital technology, I'm going to share part of my story. How did I get into e-commerce, and where I'm going with it. So my e-commerce journey, did not begin in an office, but at the internet cafe and in my living room. Before that, after graduating from university, I was working in Zimbabwe. I was working for the national broadcaster, and then marriage happened, and then my husband was in South Africa, and after a few years, I had to join him. So I became a stay-home mom from 2013. So I was just sitting at home, and sometimes I would just sell, I would buy things and sell locally. And then around 2017, I went to China and I bought some stuff. I started selling things from China, and now the kids were two. And then not so long, they become three. So when I was having the third one, now at that moment, I was not be able to go to China and coming back, but I was even still selling. So when I was in 2019, when I was having my baby, that she was very small that I couldn't go. I was just scrolling my phone and I come across another Facebook group from a woman, another lady from Malawi. Her name is Skunkoma. So she was teaching people how to buy and from China online. So she was selling the guide, and I bought that guide, and she assigned me to another Zimbabwean lady, Luike, to train me to learn how to buy from China online. So I started buying from China online. And I didn't know all that time, I didn't know that there are online platforms. I was just hearing about Amazon, but I was not understanding what exactly is it. Because e-commerce was something like that is very foreign to the part of the world that I was in. So when I joined this Kunkoma, she started another platform for e-commerce that was Zopa. So it didn't work. So we joined that Zopa, and we were building our stores on Zopa to allow people in Africa to buy from China direct through that platform for Zopa. So that's when I meet other amazing women who were talking about keywords and stuff. That's when I was getting interested to say, what are these? Because they were telling that if you use keywords, you can see people can search your products can be on the top of the search. So that's when my curiosity begins, and that foundation, even though that platform didn't come to success, it gave me a light to see it. There's something that is happening that people are saying on selling online. So that's when I then later on someone told me that there's Take a Lot, and I said, what is it? And I had to research and find out, oh, you can sell online. Okay. And I started applying on Take a Lot, and I started selling. And by that time when I was applied on Take a Lot, I would go around selling in the salons, selling stuff. But when you're walking around selling, it's difficult because sometimes people, they take stuff and they don't pay you, or they delay the money, or you'll be working for a longer time to get your money, or sometimes they don't even buy. So for me, the idea of selling online, it just come to say, wow, now I'm not going to sell on credit, and I'm not going to be chasing people. Because sometimes when people are around you and they know you, they don't want to buy from you. They would rather go to an established business, even though sometimes when you're selling the same good quality product. So I liked the idea of waking up in the morning and you see that someone was scrolling your products at midnight or at 3 a.m. and they'd already placed an order. It really fascinated me. That's when I started to sell and Take a Lot. And when I say on my story, I didn't have a laptop. Of course, we had a laptop at home, a Lenovo. It was brand new in 2013, but I never used that laptop not even a single day. When I started to say I want to do e-commerce now in 2020, that laptop was new and outdated because it was there in the home for 10 years. No one used it, new, but outdated. So I couldn't use it. So I had to go to the internet. And because the platforms for some of marketplace, you cannot do this. Their systems, they are not compatible with the phone to do everything on the phone. because I was having a smartphone, but I was only using it to go on YouTube for learning and stuff, but to do the actual practice on the website, the registering, the adding of products, I couldn't because the website is not compatible with the phones. So that's when I started selling online. And it was during COVID, because when I was buying online also, when the COVID came, the movement of goods from China to other parts, it was delayed because of lockdowns and stuff at first. So that was another challenge that also made me to think outside the box and start to pursue the selling online. So my mission is to empower women and youth to build sustainable online businesses using accessible digital tools and knowledge. And my vision is to be part of a world where women can participate in the digital economy with confidence, creating growth, independence, and inclusion. So when I started when I was selling, before I go online and after online, I wanted to contribute also financially in the home, and I also wanted financial independence, because sometimes when you are not working, even if you are getting the money, but it's different when you are just getting your money as a woman. You've got some things that you just want to do for yourself, that you don't want to ask a husband to say, can you do this for me? Or you see something nice, you don't want to be said, every time you want to buy clothes or you want to do things for yourself. You want to have money in your pocket, the one that calls your name. That's another thing that even pushed me to also start selling online. And what I want to encourage everyone today is that from my story, is that you can start where you are and you can start with what you have. I started on the internet, and I from the internet cafe, and I didn't start with a lot of stuff. I remember the first item that I added online, it was men's socks, those ankle socks for men that I get from the local market. So I just said these socks, I did my maths and I calculated, and I see I can sell these socks. I take a big packet, then I divide them and I sell it's 3 packets. And with less than 5 days of listing on that market, on the marketplace, one pair of the socks was already bought, and I was so excited, and it just told me that no, this is the right thing I'm doing. And I focused, and I didn't have a lot of capital. I was just putting the money as I was getting it. So when you are starting on a marketplace, you can start with what you have. You don't need a huge capital to say, I need maybe a truckload of stuff. Like when you are opening a physical shop, you can start with one product. You can start with 5 or 10 products and test what works and what not works, which moves fast and which moves slowly. Then you focus. When you see that this certain product, it moves fast, that's where you at least increase the products that you are selling for that specific item. So sometimes when you are starting and you just start to put a lot of stuff, maybe you find yourself that you'll be sitting with the money that is just in the stock that you cannot sell. So it's good to start small. Even if you have got a lot of capital, you can test your market, you can do your research and find what is moving. What I used to do, another thing that you can do when you start selling online, the research that I used to do that didn't cost me money. I would go on Amazon, and then I Google, I check on Amazon, best sellers on Amazon, trending items on Amazon. I ask Amazon, I tell me the 100 number 1 to 100 best sellers. Then I get the best sellers. When I get the best sellers, I go on the my Take a Lot marketplace. I check if those items are there on Take a Lot. If they are not there, I would say now this is my chance to introduce this item. I go on China website on 1688, or I talk to my agent. I say, can you find this item for me? Then I see, though, I can find this item from China. Then I create my catalog on Take a Lot. I start selling. if the product is there already on Take a Lot, it's another good thing. Now I know that this product is there on Take a Lot, so it is already a market in South Africa or around me, so I can sell this product. So whether the product is new or is old, it does not stop selling you to sell it if you have done your research, because the product not being around, it will be your chance to introduce it. The product are being available in your market, it means already that product has got a market. So the most probabilities that you are also going to sell it. So that's what I was using to find my products. Another thing, I would just walk around in shops where people go and order stuff, or then if I find something that I just don't understand, but I can see that this item is very interesting, I would just check on Take a Lot. I try to find the name, what is it, or then I go to Amazon. I see that's where sometimes when you get in more information, but sometimes in the shop, other than the information that is on the box, you will not find other information. So I will check what is the proper name, how do they describe this item. I go on Amazon, I check, then I understand the product, then I see the sales there, then I can say, okay, so this product I don't understand it, but it's there on the market, then I sell. So that's another thing. And another thing, now when you are looking for product, what I used to do also, you are following trends. What is trending right now? And now, like recently I've learned another, now you can use ChatGPT to find products. You can ask ChatGPT to say, to use this prompt to say, can you tell me the sunglasses that are going to be sell most in Africa or in South Africa or in Zimbabwe this festive season? Then ChatGPT will go around and give you maybe a list of sunglass types, designs, or whatever. It will tell you maybe the avatars are selling, maybe the large frame sunglasses are selling. Then you go and you look for those. You look for the avatar sunglasses, you look for the spot polarized sunglasses, whatever the list that it gives you, because it searches all over where are the trends are number one, and it gives you a list. Then you can search. So it's another way of finding products without using a lot of money, or it needs time sometimes, but it's very affordable. So you can also, when I started, I was not using a professional photographer, because when you are selling online, they were teaching us when in most marketplaces, when you start selling online, they've got some lessons that they give you. They've got pre-recorded webinars where they teach you how to add products, how to create adverts for your products, how to create shipment, how to all those stuff. So they were teaching us to say you can start small with when you don't have a camera, when you can use your phone. So that time they give us another app. It was Paxel. I think something like Paxel that they gave us, where you just take your pictures. For me, I said, let me be creative, because the pictures they want, mostly they wanted them on a plain white background, and I didn't have the money to go to the photographer. So sometimes I would go on my bed, then I spread nicely my white sheet, I put my product there, then I take with my camera, then I go to the internet with the photos on my email. I use that Pixel app to remove the background, to make it just a clean white paper. And sometimes I was being innovative, and I could go into the bathtub, because it was a clear white bathtub, and I just, if I'm taking some small items like jewelry, I also used to sell jewelry. I'll put in the bathtub, or I'll close the toilet seat, and then it's white clear, then I put there, then I take, those ones I would use like them, like that. I will not edit. But if we can afford a photographer, it's good. And you also need to include the lifestyle pictures when you are selling online, because the people that are buying online, they don't have the privilege to touch and feel the texture of the product that you are selling, to say, well, I like this material. This material is very stretchy. It's you who is now going to be able to tell the exactly what is it, how far the stretch can go, with the pictures that you send them, the description that you give, and the product pictures in use that you can provide. So that's it. And also, when I was learning online, I also learned that when you are selling online, sometimes because there are logistics that are included when shipping. So I personally opted to sell small items, high value, but not when I'm saying small items. For example, you are selling when you are importing from China and you want to buy, you bring it here, and you want also to ship to your customers. You want to, by all means, to cut the shipping cost, because the shipping is one of the biggest costs in e-commerce, whether you are getting locally or internationally, because your customer, they have to pay shipping. You also have to pay shipping sometimes to get your products. So when you are selling big items, let's say you are selling beds online, it means also the customer is also going to pay big on shipping. But when you are selling jewelry or sunglasses or some other items that are of high value and low volume, it means the shipping costs won't be too much for you when you are getting from your supplier, and for the customer when they are getting. And those things, sometimes you can be able to price them fairly, and you are not worried about storage. Because for me, I was packing my stuff in the sitting room, in our
Dear,
sitting room. Can you hear me?
yes, dear. Time's a bit up.
Okay. So one other thing I learned, as I'm going to conclude, is mindset is everything. When you decide to do it, you need to give it your all. You have to decide and act on it, not to say I will start when I'm ready. Like for me, when I decided to say now I want to sell online, I give it my everything. I would go to the internet in the morning when kids go to school, and I will come back around 4 when they are also coming back. Then I come back. Like I could do that 4 or 5 days a week, going to the internet to such an extent that people around me were saying, complaining, especially in my house, to say, how you can't go to the internet every day. But I knew what I wanted, and I could say, no, I'm going to the internet because I want to understand this thing, because I didn't have a mentor or something, I didn't know someone who was selling online, so I didn't have anyone to ask. So sometimes my biggest fear was my fear was my biggest obstacle, not technology per se. So, like many women, I know that when you are maybe sometimes a stay-home mom, or you are not, you don't have a tech background, you start to think that maybe this one is for techie people. E-commerce is for everyone, and the internet is opened up for us to all of us to learn. We all have equal access. So it's up to you to decide to say, I want to do this, and you can start doing it. And you don't need to be perfect, but you just need to decide to start, and you start doing it. What is the bigger picture? So digital literacy and e-commerce, it just go beyond selling. It creates economic empowerment. When you have digital literacy, you can free yourself economically. You can live a life that you want to live. You can earn a living. You can support others. You can also uplift other women through trainings like we heard recently from our previous speaker. So the impact areas, why it matters, because the bigger picture is that the digital skills, they go hand in hand with sustainable development goals of the United Nations, like number 4, quality education. Digital skills are learning, today's learning. When you don't have digital skills, then you are actually behind on everything. And SDG 5, gender equality, empowered women, they will empower others. SDG 8, decent work and growth. Online businesses, they create opportunities and freedom for you, financial independence. And SDG 10, it reduces inequalities in our communities, where women can also stand up and start to do things because they are empowered digitally. My closing message is that if you are thinking you don't have tools or skills, remember my story. I started with with nothing, going to the internet. And the internet, the cafe, they are still there. If you say in my location, maybe, oh, I don't have a laptop, you don't need to start big, just to start where you are. If you decide to start, you can just start. Digital literacy is not about being an expert. It's about curiosity and courage. When you are curious, you can try to dig to say, what is it? Where this thing going? Let me find out. And we can see a wide open door where you can unlock opportunities remotely, locally, and a lot of opportunities that are there. So the moment you start learning, you start leading. So let us stand up as women and do the thing that we, as women, we are able to do. We can do it because I know women are very strong and courageous. So nothing can stop us if we decide to do it. So let us embrace technology and let us run with it and let us lead with technology. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Clara, for sharing your inspiring story. Your tips shows us how starting small can lead to big success. Our next speaker, Mujda Rahbar from Afghanistan, is a civil and human rights advocate working to empower youth and women toward education and activism. She brings inspiring examples of leadership, resilience, and community impact. It's my pleasure to hand over the floor to Ms. Mujda.
Thank you so much, Ms. Marcel. Good evening, everyone. This is Mushtarafa. Glad to be here. Today, we're here to talk about the topics that isn't just for me, but a reflection of who I have become. A woman who found her voice, her purpose, and her confidence through the cyber world. When we talk about women in leadership, we often imagine conference rooms, public stages, or real world campaigns. But for many of us, that world is not easily accessible, especially if we are talking about the Afghan society. The truth is, our leadership begins where our courage meets connection. And for me, that place was the cyber world. Just a few months ago, I graduated from the Global Schools Program, a certified advocacy program for the Sustainable Development Goals. If it hadn't been for the cyber world, I probably would have never understood what those colorful 17 boxes truly meant. I used to see them in the events and posters, bright icons with numbers, but nobody had ever explained what they represented. It was through online learning webinars in global digital communities that I discovered their real meaning. That they are not just goals, but a promise to build a better, fairer, and more sustainable world. As I grew more involved in digital spaces, I began to see how knowledge travels without borders. The cyber world became my classroom, my network, and my platform. It taught me that leadership doesn't require a title. It begins when you start using your voice to create understanding and change. Through this journey, I started working on awareness and initiatives and collaborations, especially focused on women and girls. During my advocacy, I connected with organizations and initiatives working towards the Sustainable Development Goals. I didn't just learn while doing it, I collaborated. I partnered and we worked together. And I wanted to make sure that no young girl would ever look at those 17 boxes again and wonder what they were, like I once did. So I began hosting online events, leading awareness projects, and mentoring others to engage with the Sustainable Development Goals meaningfully. The cyber world gave me what geography once took away: access. Access to education, to international opportunities, to communities that believed in change. It allowed me to evolve from a student into a mentor, from a participant into a leader. And that transformation happened not in a physical room, but in a virtual one. Because of my cyber engagement, I was invited to collaborate with incredible initiatives and even receive nominations from some of the world's most prestigious universities, including the Halt Business School in the UK, and also the other one could be the Canadian one. So those invitations didn't come because I had all the resources in the world. They came because I used what I had: curiosity, consistency in the cyber world, to connect with people who valued purpose and potential. And today, as a mentor and advocate, I realize that leadership is not about standing above others. It's about standing with them. It's about building spaces, digital or otherwise, where women can uplift each other, where collaboration replaces competition, and where confidence grows from connection. The cyber world has given women something revolutionary: the ability to lead without permission. We can share ideas, launch initiatives, form movements, educate, and inspire from everywhere. The screen between us isn't a barrier, it is a bridge. And that's maturity when you realize it. And in my own journey, the digital world became my bridge to leadership. It helped me learn, teach, and mentor across borders. It gave me courage to speak, to write, and to represent, and to stand up for what matters. And it reminded me that confidence doesn't come overnight, it grows with every small act of showing up, even when no one seems to be watching. And one of the favorite reflections that I have is the online world doesn't replace reality, it expands it, giving our ideas the space they deserve. And I have seen that happen not just in my life, but in the lives of so many women who have found their voices online. And some become advocates, some became educators, some started digital businesses, all creating impact from their own corners of the world. So when we talk about women in leadership, building confidence and collaboration, I think of it as a living example of what the cyber world allows us to do: to build a global sisterhood or of change makers, to share ideas, support one another, and redefine what leadership looks like, not confined by space, but expanded by connection. And as I am here today with you guys, I'm reminded that every message we send, every campaign we launch, and every discussion we join in online has the power to inspire someone we have never met. And that, to me, is the essence of digital leadership: impact and without borders. And in the end, I believe the future of women's leadership is already here. It's happening here virtually, and it's being led by women who are teaching, mentoring, organizing, coding, creating, and advocating, all from their screens, turning connection into change. And the cyber world didn't just help me grow, it introduced me to the world I wanted to help build. And today, as we continue to lead, collaborate, and uplift each other in these digital spaces, let's remember our voices travel further than we think. And when women support each other, whether on screen or off, the world lessens. That would be it. Thank you.
Thank you, dear, for sharing your experience. Next, we have another speaker who empowers you towards online education and skills building. Ms. Mursal Nadri from Afghanistan, founder of Spain organization, creates programs that teaches youth technology, languages, life skills, and entrepreneurship while continuing her own studies. She brings practical insights on using digital tools to create opportunities for youth and women. It's a pleasure to hand over the floor to Ms. Mursal Nadiri.
Thank you, Marcel. Good evening, everyone. It's truly an It's truly an honor to be here today among inspiring women and youth leaders who are shaping the future through education, innovation, and resilience. My name is Morsal Nadri, a sixth semester student of stomatology at a woman online university, and a first semester a student of business administration. Can you please slide? Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Go to slide 1. Yes, thanks. So, and a first semester student of business administration at the University of the People. I'm also the founder of Sabina Organization, an educational and charitable uh, initiative dedicated to empowering a generation of young people who are knowledgeable, capable, and creative. So, um, although I'm young, my journey has been shaped by both challenge and purpose. One of the most difficult moments of my life was the college education center bombing, uh, a tragedy that took the lives of many of my classmates and teachers, people I admired and loved deeply. I survived, but that experience changed me forever. It taught me that knowledge is the only light that can shine through the darkest times, and that no adversity should stop the pursuit of learning. So, after that, when many schools and educational centers were closed, I found another path: online education. At first, it was unfamiliar. So, learning from a distance, connecting through screens. But soon I realized that education has no borders, and that with determination, presentance, persistence, and access to digital tools, it is possible to continue learning no matter the circumstances. So, um, um, next slide, please. So, thank you. Uh, that realization became the foundational for Sapien organization. I wanted to create a platform that would help other young people, especially those who had lost access to formal education, to learn, connect, and grow again. So through Serpidion, we built online programs in technology, entrepreneurship, language innovation, and life skills. We also designed charitable and cultural projects that encourage creativity, confidence, and collaboration. Our mission is simple but powerful: to ensure that no young person is left behind because of environmental or limitation or circumstance. So, um, through a network of passionate volunteers, Sapidon provides career guidance, mentorship, and peer support, giving youth the confidence to believe in themselves again. Yeah, to believe. And um, so, go to the next slide, please. Thank you. Digital literacy became our. I'm sorry. Um, digital literacy became our greatest ally for many of our students. A smartphone or a laptop was not just a device, okay? It was a bridge to education, opportunity, and hope. Through online platforms, we connected learners and mentors from different countries turning isolation into connection. Technology allowed us to bring together people who shared one dream, to keep learning no matter what. And that's the beauty of digital education. That's the beauty. Okay. It does not just teach you skills, it teaches you resilience, and it builds self confidence, discipline, and global awareness, all of which are essential for the leaders of tomorrow. So, it is the right slide now. As I work with youth across different um, communities, I see one trust again and again and again. So, what is that? Every young person has potential, but not everyone has the opportunity. Yeah. That's why I believe that education, especially digital education, must be inclusive. It must reach those who are forgotten, and it must give them a reason to dream again. Yeah. Through Sapidan, I have seen young people who once felt hopeless now lead projects, teach others, and start small initiatives like of their own. That transformation reminds me that leadership isn't about position, it is about purpose. So, next slide, please. To every young person listening today, my voice and my speech, your circumstances do not define your destiny. Every limitation can be turned into a new opportunity for growth. Remember that one. So, we may not control everything that happens like to us, okay, but we can always control how we respond with hope, with courage, and with creativity. These three things. Okay, and let's use technology not just to connect devices, okay, but to connect hearts and minds. Let's make digital learning a bridge for peace, equality, and empowerment. And because when young people raise through education, the whole world raises with them. Thank you so much. Next slide, please.
Dear Mursal, please call Miss Eva.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, dear, for sharing your valuable experience. Next, we move to a speaker who will guide us on using technology and AI in education. Eva Chigoro from Zimbabwe is an ICT academic, ICT for Impact enthusiast, and founder of Launchpad Transition Program. She has over 8 years of experience helping young people gain digital skills and confidence using technology. She brings valuable insights on using AI and digital tools in education to empower women. It's an honor to to hand over the floor to dear Eva. Dear,
Good evening, everyone. How are you? I'm so sorry that I failed to join earlier. I'm happy to present to you on a topic that is really, really close to my heart, which is building confidence in teachers in AI literacy. As mentioned already, my name is Eva Titi Chigodo. I am so passionate and enthusiastic about capacity building teachers, because the digital landscape and the education landscape at the moment, it appears as if education is really threatened by AI. Teachers are second guessing themselves, wondering if they are really of any value, if they have any role at all to play, because it seems AI is just making learning possible for students, even without the teacher's intervention. But then, is that really true? So I'm here to just boost some confidence in you, a teacher, an educator, a trainer, and not even just a teacher, really anybody who is trying to empower the next person in whatever endeavor. So this is actually our opportunity to be women, for women to become digital leaders. Women already are the majority globally. And this means that if we just embrace technology and we take a deliberate effort to actually empower other women, other students, whether it is in school, whatever level, whether it is from your nursery school right through to tertiary education, you have the power to make a difference. So I want to bridge the confidence gap, because we are at a point where teachers really are feeling like they're worthless, not of much value. They feel challenged by the students, because the students are adopting the AI with no hesitation. They are so quick to jump onto it. The moment an app is released, before you know it, they're already using it. And teachers really feel challenged. So actually, AI has become somewhat of an elephant in the room, where teachers are giving students assignments and homework to do, and students are just rushing to the nearest AI tool that they have to just pull out answers. And obviously, this is angering the teachers. They're really angry. They feel like the students are not pulling their weight, like the students are really not learning. But then there's something that we can do about that, because we still want to ensure that our students are learning, right? The AI is there. We're now in an information age, information overload age, for that matter. Gone are the days where the teacher was all-knowing. Everybody glorified the teacher. She was the hub of all knowledge. But now we need to accept the reality. The moment we accept the reality as teachers, that this is the status quo, then we need to ask ourselves, so what then is my role? And the moment you actually accept that and you realize what your new role is, because the role of the educator is indeed changing. You're no longer someone who's just there to impart knowledge, but you're just there to facilitate learning, to create an environment that actually, promotes learning. And I just want to really uplift your spirits as educators. Women, I know many of us are teachers or trainers. Don't feel challenged, don't feel inferior. You actually have a big, big role to play. What we need to do, first of all, is to lead by example, right? Yes, we know that the students are rushing. They are maybe miles and miles ahead of us. But the thing is, they are running ahead of us, but with not enough guidance. Let's step in and take that role to guide them. Let's begin to use the technology. Let's be deliberate about adopting and learning these AIs, because if we do not, we are actually doing a disservice to our students. We are letting them down, because whilst they are so busy being excited, trying out, they are also being exposed, and they are also being vulnerable to all sorts of cyber crime, cyber bullying, and things of that nature. So maybe first of all, maybe we're talking about digital literacy before I even start talking about AI literacy. We're not talking about digital literacy 2.0. This is beyond basic skills. no longer do we boast about being able to use Microsoft Word or being able to write, to type an email or to, to go on the internet and maybe do a search. Nobody even takes a moment to even think about whether or not you're able to do that, meaning that it is now something that is taken for granted. It's nothing to speak about, right? What we're talking about now is something that is a step further. We have actually evolved. No longer do we talk about digital literacy. We're talking about digital literacy 2.0. And what we care about now is your critical engagement with emerging technologies. What does that mean? We have new technologies. No longer are we worrying about emails, like I said, Microsoft Word, your PowerPoint, and so on. We're now talking about virtual reality, artificial intelligence, big data, all these, technologies, Internet of Things, and so on, robotics, right? And we need to take a deliberate effort and step to engage with those emerging technologies. Let's not think that this is just for the youngsters, for the students in my classrooms, for the teenagers, or maybe in Zimbabwe we say the AMA 2000s, the students, maybe the kids who were born in the 2000s. No, it's for you. Even if you were born in 1980 or 1970 or whatever year, this is your space. Take it boldly. It's actually your opportunity to emerge and thrive. Right. So what is the new digital literacy? Because we're moving from the old literacy, as I've said. The new digital literacy now requires you to be fluent in AI. That does not mean that you need to know how to code. No, it does not mean that you need to be have an in-depth understanding of artificial intelligence. Instead, it means that you need to understand what AI can do for you and capitalize on that AI, right? It means, for example, you need to know that AI can generate, for example, images. Maybe you're a biology teacher. You can actually go on your Meta, which is on our WhatsApp. Most of us have WhatsApp on our phones. Just go on WhatsApp. They're trying to come up with an image that can help you maybe explain maybe the respiratory system or whatever it is that you're trying to teach your class. And you need an image to make it clear. Go on Meta and talk to your AI. Ask the AI to generate, because now the AI has become a personal teaching assistant. Is that not something great? I mean, in the past, you'd be just a single teacher with a class possibly of 30 students. In some cases, if you're a university lecturer or professor, maybe you even have 50 or even 100 people in your class with no teaching assistant, or maybe one teaching assistant was just not enough. But we're saying AI can now actually be your teaching assistant. So embrace it and learn to use. This should not be your best friend, this artificial intelligence. Choose Gemini, choose Notebook LM. Those are AIs that I personally recommend if you're an educator. And really master what we call prompt engineering. Unfortunately, due to time, I will not be able to really go deep into that. But prompt engineering was simply saying, learn to be precise in your instructions, with the artificial intelligence, so that it is able to give you what you want, what you expect from it. Right? Because it's just the same way. I think we all know with our kids at home. If you tell your child, maybe this is just a young child you're still trying to teach them how to cook, and you tell them, okay, when I come back, please make sure that maybe the sadza is ready. In Zimbabwe, our staple food is sadza. Make sure that the sadza is ready. What that really means is that have the supper ready, right? So normally now, if the student is still learning, what's going to happen? She's probably going to cook the sadza. Maybe you've asked her to cook rice or whatever it is. She'll cook the rice and then she'll wait for you to get home. When you get home, there's just sadza. You can't really complain to say, why did you not cook the meat? Where's the relish? You cannot do that because you did not give an explicit, clear instruction. And that's the same thing with our AI. AI is a baby that needs to be given clear instruction. So braven up. Don't worry, this AI should not intimidate you. Instead, actually, you are in charge. You are the author of what it should be producing for you, for your convenience. data sense, you need to get an understanding of the data that is being produced by the AI. Understand security, privacy, and ethical use of student data. This is very important because as teachers, yes, some of us are actually beginning to, warm up to the AI, and we're beginning to use it. But then we need to be careful how we're using it. Do not ever enter students' personal information to say, Susan gotten 80, Susan Jenkins gotten 80%, or maybe worse still, a 9% in their mathematics examination today, and she is really struggling. Please help me. Help me help her. You're asking the AI to help you, which is not a bad thing, but be conscious of your role in protecting student data. Never ever enter actual names in your AI. Digital citizenship, you need to foster safe, respectful, and responsible behavior, right? Online, right? This is very important because, and it's not just about you. Now, one thing, we are very quick to point at the students to say, oh, the students are posting nasty things online. They're not being respectful online. But as teachers now, we need to actually be more conscious of ourselves. What are we posting online? What are we clicking? What are we liking? What are we commenting on? Because you're a professional, you need to protect your image. The internet does not forget, and AI does not forget. You'd be so disappointed. Then one day you go on the AI and you're asking to pull out some information about you, and it's telling you about maybe some nasty behavior that you were engaged in, maybe at some party. You now need to be self-conscious and uphold a reputation for yourself as a professional, as a teacher. And in the same light, you need to be teaching your students to be digitally sensitive when they're online. Be respectful of others, because it will follow them 10 years down the line when they're now looking for a job. And because you did not give them the guidance, they will come back and blame you. Ma'am, you let me down. So I'm here, like I said, to try and build some confidence in you as a teacher. I said, embrace AI to be your personal teaching assistant. There's lots of things that frustrate us as teachers. For example, the lesson planning and the differentiation, because in our class, we've got different students with different learning abilities. There's such a diverse, range of students. And we want to ensure that every student walks out of the classroom having learned something, they should actually walk out having achieve the same level of knowledge, despite of whether they are a visual learner, an auditory learner, a slow learner, a fast learner. So now the beauty of AI is, unlike in the past where maybe it would have taken you hours and hours to plan a particular lesson, right? That would just be standard. That would have to be one size fits all for all your students in the class. Now with AI, you can actually generate multiple lesson plans for the very same class. Have a lesson plan for your auditory learners, have a lesson plan for your visual learners, have a lesson plan for your slow learners, and so on. And that makes you an even more effective teacher. And what you will enjoy after that are the impeccable results that will come out, the high standards and the quality of student that will actually come out from your class. So there are things, like I said, that frustrate us. The marking, the lesson planning I've mentioned already, the heavy marking and feedback. Maybe you've got a class of 30, 50 students, maybe even, and you're thinking, I have to mark all this. Because if to be an effective teacher, to be a good teacher, you should be giving the students feedback. And to give feedback, it means you have to go through all that marking, all that heavy marking. But now we're saying the AI can actually be your friend, where you can actually upload content that has been homework that has been produced by the students, and you guide. What you're now doing is only guiding the AI to say, my marking scheme, I'm looking for the following answers. I expect this type of, this is the guide to marking. And because it's an automation, we're talking about artificial intelligence, it's going to be able to automatically mark and provide feedback to your students as per your standard. But then you don't make the mistake of just taking a back seat and say, oh, okay, I've already told the AI what to do. I'm going to take a back seat. I'm now going to go and have some wine and relax. No, instead, you now have a smaller job to do, just to cross-check and reference what the AI has produced, just to make sure, because it will also be a serious mistake if you just let it pass and you let the AI give feedback, which in some cases can be wrong, because AI is not excellent. It's not all-knowing. It's not always 100%, right? We say AI can hallucinate. That means that sometimes it can give you an answer that is totally off the mark, that it can be totally lost and to give you a totally wrong and incorrect answer. And that is that's the reason why that happens, is because AI is trained. Like I said, AI is like a baby, right? That we are feeding and we are grooming, right? And so each time that we are posting, that we have with blogs, anything that we do online, the AI algorithms, they're taking that all in, but sometimes we're actually feeding it with bad information. So sometimes it will also give you bad information. So don't count on it always to be 100%. You still have a role to be a critical thinker. You still have a role to just cross-check so that you are not being a disservice to your students. So the other things that the AI can do, it can generate your rubric. That is like your marking scheme, right? It can save time, right? For you in terms of all the lesson planning, all the hectic planning, the marking and all that, giving you more time to actually give more attention and personalized focus on students that need extra care, extra attention. Again, making you a more effective and a better teacher. Your lesson plan. I spoke about the lesson plan already. All right. So this was just things that I wanted you to get a grasp of, and some perspective as to why it is urgent and important for you to embrace the AI. Because believe me, if you do not embrace it, many teachers are saying, oh, AI is taking over my job. What am I going to do? I mean, I don't even know what I'm going to do. I'm losing my career. And yes, we've seen it happen in the past where technology comes and takes over jobs. We used to have people who used to work in typing pools. No longer do we have a job that is called a typist, because everybody turned into is now a typist, right? Because technology made it so easy for everyone to become a typist. So do you think that maybe we are moving to a point where we're saying that teachers are also going to be extinct? My answer to you is this: teachers will not be extinct. Teachers, or let me put it this way, teachers who choose not to embrace AI are the ones who become extinct. And why would they become extinct? Because the teachers who choose to use AI will overtake them. They are the ones who will take their jobs. It's not the AI that's going to take the job. It's the teacher who has chosen to embrace AI who will take the job of the teacher who has chosen to ignore AI. So you need to move with the times. I always give this example of, I think most of us, some of us, I think they're very young people here, I noticed, who might not know this. There's an organization, a company that was called Kodak. Kodak used to have cameras. They were in the big business of selling cameras, right? But they failed to move with the times. And eventually they closed shop. And who did they lose their job to? They lost their business. They lost their business to the cell phone, because now every cell phone that was being produced had a camera. So why was it necessary to even invest in buying, those expensive cameras that they had? The moment they saw that a cell phone had been produced that actually had a camera, what they should have done was to say, you know what, we are also moving on to cell phones. We're going to start selling cell phones with the best camera that has ever been seen in this world. So it's the same thing with the teacher. Do not say that AI is going to take over my job. No. Tell yourself that I'm moving with the times and I am embracing AI. I'm carrying it with me into the next chapter of my teaching career. I'm not sure. Maybe I've taken a lot of time. Maybe let me quickly move to your 3-step confidence roadmap. Step 1, It's very much like, for example, some speakers who have spoken before me, they were saying, start small, start where you are, right? Yes, you do not even know how to use ChatGPT. You do not even know how to use Gemini. Maybe you don't even know how to use the Meta that's there on your phone, on your WhatsApp, right? Start small and secure, right? Just one tool at a time. Choose one task that causes you the most headache. Maybe you hate writing emails to parents. Maybe it's the marking that you hate, or maybe not hate, but you're not fond of, right? So use an AI tool only for that task that frustrates you the most, and use it continuously for weeks in your privacy until you master it. Then you begin to use it now publicly, right? Step 2, embrace the prompt. So the prompt, I've said, that instruction that you give to the AI to say, please do this for me, right? Embrace it. Learn how to write effective prompts. That means give clear instructions. Like I gave the example of sending your daughter maybe to I remember when we were growing up, I had a little sister. So we're two older sisters, and then the sister was much younger than us. And we only wanted ice cream. We'd tell her, go and ask mom and dad for ice cream. And they should go and say, Titi and I have said, go and ask for ice cream. And would be so angry with her. But was she at fault? No, she wasn't, right? So the prompt engineering, that's what I'm saying. Learn it. Take time to learn it. Look, there are many free courses on prompt engineering. Look it up and learn how to do the prompt engineering so that in the end, you get quality responses from your AI. AI quality depends on your questions. How have you asked? How have you given the instruction? Learn how to do that. Practice asking for revisions, what we call the control principle, where maybe you ask the AI, it gives you a response, it's not quite what you want, and you go back, you guide it. No, I want this question examination to be set for 12-year-olds. Maybe it's a question on the water cycle, right? But maybe at first, maybe it's given something that's more appropriate for 18-year-olds, maybe who are doing geography, but now you're dealing with 12, 11-year-olds. They say, no, this is meant for 11-year-olds. Please, notch it down a little. I need it to be more friendly for this age group. And I want them to be able to explain step by step how the water cycle works, until it now gives you the perfect question to write in your examination for your students, right? Then step 3, find a digital buddy. That's very important. You need someone who helps you to be accountable. Collaborate with a colleague to test tools, share successes, and troubleshoot failures. You're having trouble, you're trying to set an examination, you're trying to preset a quiz, maybe a multiple choice test that should automatically mark, and give feedback to students, but it's not doing exactly what you want. Find a friend, another teacher, to say, you know what, I'm struggling. How can I do this? Have you done this before? And then actually be a part of a community. So this is the community principle that we're talking about, where you find someone who will work with you as you digitally transform, because this is a digital transformation that's happening for educators. So basically, what am I saying? The role of educators in the AI era is changing. It is evolving rather than diminishing. Don't think that teachers are going to be extinct. Educators remain essential as facilitators of learning, mentors, and emotional guides. That emotional guide, AI can never give emotional guidance to students in the class. AI can never be a mentor to a student. So that's the step that's the space you should be stepping into. Teachers play a critical role in interpreting AI-generated insights, providing human interaction, and fostering critical thinking, creativity, and ethical awareness, skills that AI can never, ever replicate. Teachers also ensure that technology is used appropriately. Now, this is the guidance I was talking about. Our students are excited, they're hyperactive, but we need to control them. We need responsibly.
Thank you so much, Miss Eva, for this insightful session and your beautiful presentation. It's really beautiful. We enjoy it. Now I would like to introduce Mam Maheen. Mam Maheen Amjad is the founder and CEO of Women Ascension and Entrepreneurship Ecola, and the art of all the women in Women Ascension. Now I would like to give the floor to Mam Maheen. Mam Maheen, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Tahmina, for giving me the floor. Before starting with any of my words, I would personally like to thank each and every speakers who have taken out time for us and sharing their expertise, their knowledge, and especially their experience. Thank you so much from all of us at Women Ascension. Most of the speakers have said so many beautiful things, which took me back almost 5 years back, where I was struggling what I should do. So many of us in this session, we have different age group joining in. We have teenagers, we have early 20 individuals, we have individuals who are in late 40s, late 30s. All of you, please know that it's never too late to decide what do you want for yourself. Um, Speaking at what experience I have, I was purely a teacher. I taught in international university. I was working at national university. Still, I'm connected with academia. But when you know yourself more, when you understand which pathway would satisfy your life, yourself, you would actually know where you have to take the right step. So if you want to be successful, like everybody do that. I joined this profession. I learn it so much because I want to be financially independent. I want to be able to provide for my loved ones, to show that I am strong enough to sort out any problem for them. All right. So, but if you don't understand yourself, you will not be happy and you won't be able to understand life around you, especially inside you. So it's very important to know yourself. Very important to know yourself. What do you want to do? Understand yourself. When you know the first step, then you move towards the second step. When you understand the world inside you, you will start understanding the worlds around you. What are the gaps? How you can fill it in? What opportunities are there? What are you good at? And then you keep learning, keep learning. So, like our previous speaker, Miss Eva, said beautifully, AI makes us uncomfortable, but know that AI is there to assist you. World is changing. Time has to change. Maybe today, tomorrow, maybe later. Eventually, we have to move from this traditional world. Every time demands that. Century before the world was not the same. Now we have new challenges. Our kids will have new challenges. So we have to have this adaptability to understand how we have to move with time. For now, time demands only one thing from us, to be human. And to be human is to solve problems around you. So if you are a problem solver, you are an excellent entrepreneur. You are an excellent leader. You know exactly where you have to mold, where you have to tame the chaos around you. And there you will have your abundance. This is a very simple way. All of the speakers talk about consistency, practice, how they dig into knowledge, how they work hard. They started with themselves first, and when they succeeded with time, one step at a time, opportunities came to them. They expanded with time. So you have to start with yourself. All right. So there are a few things I really want to add is that number one, um, dealing with consultancy. One of the things people say that we don't have money to start the idea what we want to do. Nobody has that money to start, the prime idea which is popping in your head. You have to start small. Okay. You need to practice those opportunities which can lead you to your dream step that you want to. So keep learning, keep practicing, keep diversifying your steps. Start with the job, save money. If one job is not making you save money, try multiple job. Okay, if you think so, you have enough money, but you don't have expertise, start small. Be an intern, be a volunteer, get in that organization where you want to learn and be that in the set of networking where you want to see yourself in the future. Get into that organization. Start small. Start small. But you need to keep moving. Please know that nobody can help you but yourself. Please know that nobody can make you understand but yourself. I believe entrepreneurship is more like a math equation in which you have to solve it over and over again in order to find the right answer. So you need to find it out yourself. It's very simple. So you will get amazing, amazing individuals around the world. You will find great opportunity now. Why? Because now world is one. Look where we are right now. Some are sitting in the sofa, some on the bed, some are, just walking around listening to us. We are connected. Before, getting connection was so difficult. Now everything is just on your touch screen. So please utilize this connection rightfully. And please understand that people are there digging opportunity. But when you make your profile and when you have made your profile or you're on the way of building your profile, opportunity is great. Taking opportunity is great. Being an opportunity is great. But do not step into that world which hurts another individual. So you have to be authentic to yourself. And you have to act in such a way that you want other individuals to treat you like that. So you have to build that person on yourself. You have to act that way, and you have to be very careful with that. So this is something I really wanted to add. I just deleted the rest of the line because all of the speakers have explained it much better than me in detail. So please know that little by little, everything happens, but you have to be patient, very, very patient. Do not panic. And if you are in constant trouble to have your achieved goals, please know that you are solving towards magnificent timeline which you're going to reach. The more difficult your timeline is, the more beautiful future you will have. But you have to trust the process. It takes time, but it's beautiful. Thank you so much, Damina, for giving me the floor. Thank you so much, speakers, for sharing your insights. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, on a behalf of Women Ascension, I want to close everything, and I want to sincerely thank all of our speakers for their time, effort, and inspiring contribution today. Each of you shared valuable knowledge from using data for better discussions, applying AI in education, and starting a small business to promoting youth leadership and empowerment. Your experience truly showed us how digital literacy and foundational skills can create real change in our life and communities. Now, a special thanks to Ma'am Maheen Amjad, our speakers, Miss IG, Miss Eva, Miss Clara, Miss Mujda, and Miss Mursal. And for the Women Ascension team for organizing this meaningful session. Finally, thank to all the participants for joining us today. We hope you learned something new and feel inspired to continue your own journey of growth and empowerment. Now, peace all, take a rest, and have a good night. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Take care, everyone.